Greetings! I'm just turning up uninvited like half the characters at Duelist Kingdom because I really want to do this tag. I've wanted to for probably about 15 years now, and it's always one of those things that's just been in the back of my mind. But of course I was never tagged, and there was really no reason to tag me. I wasn't really part of the community. But I just always thought it looked like fun, and I enjoyed watching other people's answers. So yeah, I wanted to take part in it too. So the first question is, how long have you been a Yu-Gi-Oh fan? I think, I haven't looked at these questions for a really long time, by the way, so I don't really remember. Wait, no, what am I saying? Okay, I believe that would have been, I guess, since about, I was kind of, Yu-Gi-Oh was like in the zeitgeist growing up for me, like right kind of from the beginning of when it was, the dub was airing over here. But I guess I wasn't really a fan, to be honest, until the abridged series was really what got me into actually watching it. So probably sometime in like the mid-2000s. Yeah, that sounds about right. And I'm really grateful that was my gateway into the show, because it's just meant so much to me. I've always loved the anime. I've loved all the spin-offs. So the next question is, what is your earliest Yu-Gi-Oh memory? Like I say, I'm kind of in that demographic of millennials for whom, we were sort of right in the target age group, at the peak of its popularity, when, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Digimon, Beyblade were all huge in the early 2000s. So I have a lot of memories from that era. I remember in my summer daycare program that I was in while my mom was at work, I remember, well, I didn't have any cards, but so many kids played and collected the cards, and they would play with our daycare leaders. That's what we called them. Does everyone call them daycare leaders? What do you call the people who take care of you at daycare? Daycare leaders sounds like it would have been something specific to just the title that was bestowed upon them at the particular place that I went to, but I'm not sure. Does everyone call them that? Anyways, I'm getting off topic. So that's like, I have a lot of very early kind of general memories of the grip 4Kids had on us during that time. But I think my first memory that I can really recall in terms of a specific event was, it was a daycare field trip, I think. I think we went to a pool or something. I don't remember, but I remember we were sitting outside. It was either we had just gotten off the bus to go in, or we were waiting to get on the bus to go back, and we were just kind of sitting on the steps outside. And I remember this one kid saying to another kid, they were talking about the rarest cards they had, and one kid said, "I have Blue Eyes White Dragon." And the other kid goes, "That's impossible. There's only 4 of them in the world." So that is my most vivid early Yu-Gi-Oh memory. And even then I remember, like, I'd never really been into watching the anime. I didn't know the anime lore behind Blue Eyes, but even then, I remember thinking, that doesn't sound right. There's no way there are only 4 of them. Oh, okay, sorry. I'm just looking at the questions. The next one is, who's your favorite Yu-Gi-Oh character? Oh my goodness, this is really hard because there are so many characters that I love across all the series. To be honest, I don't know if this particular tag was supposed to be geared just towards Duel Monsters or every series that was out at that time, which I think maybe Sexel had just started airing at the era of this tag. But anyways, my favorite character, there are so many that come to mind, but I'm just gonna go with my heart and say the first one that comes to mind, which is Mokuba. He really carried DM. I'm sorry. I love him so much as a character. He's kind of, he has a big heart, but he's also kind of sassy, and, he is just, like, the guiding light for his brother. I think Yu-Gi-Oh! Would not be as iconic as it is if Kaiba weren't such an iconic rival, and he would not be Seto Kaiba without Mokuba. Mokuba carried the whole show on his back in that sense. And he's just so fun, and he's just cute, and I don't know, I like him a lot. I mean, I have a lot of favorite characters. More recently, there were a ton of characters I really liked in Sevens and Go Rush. I think Ranze and Ranran are my favorite girls. My favorite Yu-Gi-Oh! Girls. Okay, so yeah, if I only have to pick one, it's Mokuba. What is your most prized Yu-Gi-Oh! Possession? Probably, I think my deck. It's really old, well, not really old now, but it was a gift from a very special friend, really, and he's really, like, the only Yu-Gi-Oh! Friend that I ever had. You know, I always kind of dreamed about making other friends in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Fandom, and, you know, like, drawing a smiley face on our hands, and having, you know, having people to talk about the show with and stuff, but, I never really made any connections, you know, it just never really happened. I would comment on other people's art and fanfics and stuff, but, like, I never really connected with anyone, and that's okay. You know, if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be, you know, people have their own lives and stuff, but, yeah, he was my friend in high school, and I don't really know him anymore, but look at my beautiful horsies. Aren't they wonderful? And this is the only deck I've ever actually dueled with, and I won, which is crazy, and he was right there beside me the whole time, and yeah, it really means a lot to me. And like I say, you know, even though I never really made, you know, I don't really know anyone else in the fandom, I always have this, and even though I don't know that person anymore, you know, I have this kind of reminder of the friendship we did have, and I do kind of, I don't know, I wish I'd been a better friend to him. I was young and silly, and, aloof, I guess what I'm trying to say is, I always dreamed about, you know, having this magical bond like Yugi and his friends, and having something to mark that with, and it was right here the whole time. And I guess that's the heart of the cards, isn't it? And he gave me this deck box as well. I remember he picked it out for me, because he said it looked like there were eyelashes on the D. I don't know if the camera's even picking it up. I can't see if it's focusing. But yeah, I guess the only other thing is my Dark Magician Girl. This is one of the first cards I ever got. It was on a trip with my family to Minneapolis and Fargo and Grand Forks. We would always stop there on the way down, and I got this. They had, I guess it was Retropack 2 at Target, and I just, I really, you know, it was exciting to me because for a while I didn't really watch the spin-offs. I only was really into DM, so, you know, it was a DM thing packed, and because we don't have Target in Canada, or we used to very briefly, but it sucked, and it was not half as exciting as the American Target. Yeah, but I was really excited just to have cards and to get one that was like so special in terms of the show's lore. And I had this cell phone case. I didn't have a cell phone at the time, but I had this kind of cell phone case thing that was like a sock. I think I might actually still have it. There might still be cards in it. But yeah, it was this, and I didn't have any sleeves or a deck box, obviously, so that's what I kept my cards in, and it was bad, and I would just carry her around everywhere with me, and you can see she is kind of beaten up. The back was getting so worn that I colored over parts of it with a black Sharpie. But I don't really care that much because she's mine. Like, I was never gonna give her away or sell her or anything. And, that just makes her unique. I know that this was my Dark Magician girl, and she's not like any other Dark Magician girl in the world. Okay. Oh, next question. Where are you from? I am from Manitoba, and I've always been here. And I still am here. Outside of Yu-Gi-Oh, what do you do with your life? Be an annoying horse girl and try my best? I don't actually ride horses. I was like, that's another thing. Oh God, this sounds like such a pathetic theme for me. Like, all my dreams have just been forgone because I didn't have the courage to seize them, and now I'm trying to rectify that. But yeah, I really care a lot about animal welfare and studying animal behavior and science-based welfare practices and management and training and ethics and the environment. And I also like writing and drawing, although that is kind of Yu-Gi-Oh adjacent, but not exclusively. So that's me, I suppose. What is the origin of your YouTube name? I was thinking I might actually try posting this on Global because I'll also post it on YouTube though, but I really wanted to try exploring that platform as well because it reminds me a lot of the old social media and the version of YouTube that I really wanted, or I wish I could go back to, and that the videos I make I kind of wish were on, in terms of like the culture and the lack of like kind of forced professionalism, if you know what I mean, where it's just for fun, it's just people making videos about whatever. But anyways, the origin of my name. My name on here on YouTube is Snowy Doe, which it's kind of, I've gone by several different usernames in the past, but I picked this one because it was at a time, I was really into Lolita, like the J fashion community at that time, so I kind of wanted a name that fit in there. And I picked this name because it was right after my grandma and grandpa passed away and we had to sell their house, and that was kind of such a huge part of my life, just being there with them and my family, and it was really hard. And obviously, that's very cold here in the winter, Canada, Manitoba, so and they would always have deer in their backyard. It was always such a joy to watch them and see them grow up and just have these lovely animals so close, and to coexist with them. I really loved that, and I miss them a lot, so that was kind of the inspiration behind my name, just kind of tying it to something I cared about. And my goodness, these planes are loud. I never understand why people get so pressed about noises from outside in the backgrounds of their videos, but I kind of get it now, because that sounded really close. What was I saying? Oh yeah, and on Gromble, my name is what's her name, because that's my name on my old fan fiction account, and I didn't really know what to call it, but yeah, that's a reference to the song on Green Day's American Idiot album, which I'm not a huge music person, but Green Day has always been really special to me, and that's probably, if I had to pick a favorite album of all time, it would probably be American Idiot. I really like the story, and all the songs are great. So, on to the next question. Whose videos do you watch? In terms of Yu-Gi-Oh! Related videos? Let's see. Recently, well, obviously Little Karibo. And, who else? I really don't watch a lot of, the card game focused channels. My main interest is in the anime, if you couldn't tell. So I've really enjoyed Starling's videos, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything, and who else? It's been fun to watch, I think his name's Fake Silent Hero. I hope I got that right off the top of my head. But his sort of recaps and reviews of all the different series. I think he just finished Arc 5, but it's been really fun to, hear his perspective on them and get these recaps. It's been a really fun watch. So yeah, I've enjoyed all of those channels, and I don't think there are really any other Yu-Gi-Oh! Specific channels I watch. What is your favorite saga? I'm not sure if this question is referring to a season of Duel Monsters, or an arc in any show, or if it's just about which series is your favorite. But to answer just for Duel Monsters, that's hard to pick. I do really like Duelist Kingdom, because it's kind of the beginning of everything. And honestly, I like the Duelist Kingdom rules. I'm not gonna lie. I think, honestly, my favorite duels are the ones where it feels like there's a real connection to the monsters, and that sort of role-play elements are incorporated. And, there's some sort of storytelling within the duel. I appreciate when they take artistic liberties, and I know that's probably a controversial opinion, but yeah, and I really liked how we got to see other non-duelist characters shine a lot in Duelist Kingdom, like Yugi and Taya, and even Bakura, like Ryo Bakura. So that will always be dear to my heart. And I also really like the digital world Noah Kaiba arc, because it focused so much on the characters and exploring the backstory and the bond between the Kaiba brothers. And I really think that's what a filler arc should be. And in terms of series, I really liked Go Rush a lot. I think that might just be recency bias, but let's see. What is my favorite series overall? I don't know. I'm just gonna leave it at that because I would be sitting here forever trying to decide and explaining exactly what I like about every single series and my favorite arcs from all of them. So I think it's best we just leave it there. Number 10. If you could be any Yu-Gi-Oh character, who would it be? This is an interesting question. I don't care if it's referring to the character I relate to the most, and I think is most like me. I would say probably Bakura. I think I've also really felt kind of a kinship with Mai in the past, and before Yuya was the protagonist I think I related most to. I'm a Leo Sun, Pisces Moon, so maybe that tells you everything you need to know about that. But if I could be any character, I kind of want to say that I think the correct answer is Sawatari. I don't care if he's a jobber, and the reason I picked him is that strategy, he's well off, so, I mean, that's not my main concern, but, you know, if I can pick anyone, I don't want to make a stupid choice, but, you know, it's better to have it than not. But he gets to do action duels, and he starts off as a bit of a pest, as a bit of an antagonist, but he ends up connecting with the other characters and becoming part of the group and having friends and just being embraced by everyone, and I just want to do action duels, and I want to have fun with my monsters, and I want to have friends, and I want to make people smile. So that's my answer. The last one is, do you prefer Japanese or English voices in music? I mean, I think maybe there are a lot of people who feel this way. I'm probably not alone when I say that I started with the dub for Duel Monsters, and that will always be what is sort of ingrained into my soul. I love the whimsy, the characterization, the humor, the voices. Everyone, I think, did such a good job, and I mean, I think all the dubs are great, and you can appreciate them for what they are and not what they aren't. The dub really has a life of its own, and I love it for that, and so Duel Monsters, I mean, I like both, I appreciate both, with the original, obviously you're getting the full story, but then and the music, I mean, okay, I think the music, there has been some good music in the dubs, but, I don't know, like, Clear Mind and 5D's iconic, but then also, I love, one of my favorite instrumental pieces is the Toon World theme from the English dub, and, but generally I would say 5D's was kind of the turning point for me because it was such a more serious story, and I really wanted to have the full context with that, and also I was older. But For both, I mean, I still called Judai Jaden, but after that, my headcanon kind of revolves around the original Japanese for everything from 5Ds on, and kind of for GX too, I guess, and also for Duel Monsters, but they will always be, you know, Joey and Taya and Tristan to me. Definitely, I would say 100%, for Vrains onward, definitely the original music. There's no question there. I really miss having words in the songs. What can I say? And also, I was watching the dub and the sub for Sevens, and I watched the Roa versus Yuga round 2, and oh my god, it was just so, it didn't hit right without the music. When he summoned his ace, Roa, and the song wasn't playing, it just wasn't right. It was not as epic. Music to duel by was incredible. I'm not gonna sing it, but any of the songs. Give it up, 'cause now I'm back. So that's all the questions. We did it! Yay! And I don't have anyone to tag, but, maybe you, if you would like to, I would be very happy. But thanks for watching anyway.